and welcome to this video blog in which I would like to consider the phase of separation in twin flames. As far as I've seen in so many different social media places where they have twin flames groups, I've noticed the anxiety and the pain that the separation phase causes in the majority of people. And that's very understandable because most of us are coming from our conditioning of what we expect and what we want from a relationship. That is to be together as a couple. And we desire, since the twin flame connection is so strong, so powerful, and so unique, we wish that we were in union, physical union, with our twin flame. Yet, why most twin flames have to undergo this separation? Why is it that most twin flames are separated either because of distance, because they live in different countries, different cities, or because one is married, or whatever reason there is for separation, there is separation? Why? It doesn't happen in soulmates. It doesn't necessarily happen even in karmic relationships or any regular relationship. Why? We need to think about why this is part of the twin flame journey. And there is one thing that is very important and very basic if we just scratch the surface of the definition of twin flame. Twin flame is a spiritual relationship, first and foremost. But what does a spiritual relationship mean? How can we recognize what the spirit is in the midst of everything? How can we recognize the soul if we are so attached to ourselves, to our idea of who we think we are? We are so attached to our conditioning and what we think relationships are. We are attached to our idea of love, which is basically erotic love, and it's not agape love, which would be the unconditional love we seek. And so, coming from this place without trying to break through or go beyond causes a lot of suffering and pain because it's hurting our desires, it's hurting our attachment to somebody. Yet the separation happens because it is in separation that the soul speaks, that the soul arises. When we are together in our physical connection, when most people are not highly conscious or highly evolved, well, we let ourselves go by our desires. My desire for you to fulfill my needs. My desire to feel happiness because of your presence. It's not a happiness that comes from within because of just my plain existence, but because you make me happy. And this is not good or bad. I don't want to put labels into this. I just want to analyze how we work from our egos, and the way our desires manifest, and how those desires from our ego desires are the ones that are causing the suffering. And evidently, the separation is making us need to work on different levels so we can understand that the pain is not that something that we want, that the pain is something that we need to overcome, to let go. We have to find a way. And all this suffering pushes us to try to go beyond our conditioning so we can be free from the pain, free from the suffering. For that, we need to do this inner work. We need to try to break our limitations of our conditioning, to not look at this situation from the perspective of a personal desire, from a personal need to have a relationship with somebody. We need to understand it from the spiritual level, from what the Spirit brings for us, what the Spirit wants us to awaken to. That is why the twin flame journey is a journey of awakening. And there's a book that I have written in English called Twin Flames, A Journey Towards Unconditional Love, that I explain the different phases of from the personal to the impersonal, from the body to the spirit, and the understanding of what the soul is, and how can we identify how the soul works and how it manifests in our life and what it brings. When we are together at the physical, we immediately, because of our programming, go to the functioning of our physical needs. But at the spiritual level, something awakens that it is most that transcends this lifetime, that transcends these physical needs, and that feels much more profound, much more real, because it's something that comes from higher dimensions that embrace a much larger content of reality. It is not that we are not to have sexual encounters with our twin flame, but to tell you the truth, it is not exactly about that. It is about the spiritual awakening for both twins or for one twin. It doesn't matter, whoever is able to awaken to the truth and the essence of our spiritual dimensions. So separation helps us to connect through telepathy, through mystical experiences. And since we live in this world where we are different individuals and we feel separated from others, not just the twin flame, but from others, when we have these thoughts that, oh, I'm thinking about this person, I wonder if that person's thinking of me or whatever, those are coming from our desires to our desires to want to connect with somebody, or that to know that somebody's thinking of us. But also it comes from our separation, because at higher realms it doesn't matter if it's him thinking of me or me thinking of him, because we are one. So it works completely, but completely differently from what we are accustomed to believe relationships are all about. So if we look at the separation phase, even though it's hurting, if it hurts, it's because we have not yet worked on the detachment process and the realization that helps us to break through the conditioning, so we can expand the horizons of our mind, of our awareness, and understand higher realms. So we can understand that as long as we're in pain from the separation, it is that we have not been able to find a way to break through to new levels of awareness, new levels of consciousness, and we have to keep on working. And it's like like an ant work, very, very tedious work, one by one step by one step, and realizing little by little, with every little step, the higher possibilities, until one day we're ready and we embrace this higher dimensions, and finally peace settles in. Inner peace is not just a feeling for one moment of meditation. Inner peace is a state of awareness, of consciousness, as it is freedom, as it is unconditional love, as it is happiness. Because the fleeting feelings of one moment, they just come to let us know what we can feel, but they don't stay. Why? Because we are not ready to embrace that level of awareness, that state of consciousness that embraces higher dimensions, that makes us feel we are one with our twin flame at a certain dimension, and then beyond that dimension we are one with everything. We are all one, but we are just here understanding that we are one with our twin flame. After understanding the union with the twin flame, we will have experiences that take us beyond, to realize that this is just a phase, a part of the experience that take us to higher realms. When once we arrive to understanding that we are all one, there will be no more twin flame. So I hope you take a look at the book. You can find it in Amazon and printed in ebook, and Kobo.com. They also have the ebook. No, not they don't have the English ebook. They have the Spanish one. But It is a pretty researched book on stories about twin flames, and there's information from different psychological perspectives about what the soul is, and also there's the journey about the twin flame that I invite you to consider, because realizing this, understanding not from the personal perspective but from the impersonal perspective, the separation, the different phases that we go through, well, understanding that helps us alleviate all this pain that we have to endure in this amazing, profound, and painful journey. So anyway, I hope you subscribe to our bilingual channel. We have videos in English and Spanish, and that you just join us. And I hope this was helpful in your process of understanding your journey. Thank you, and until the next one. Bye bye.